Today, Baba is making us understand the meaning of the song. Having found you, we have found everything. So, you see, in Hindi, there is this song तुम्हें पाके हमने जहां पा लिया ज़मी तो ज़मी आसमां पा लिया. And Baba says, this is not a song that I have created. This is a song that you used to sing. But this song has a deeper meaning, which you didn't know, that this is a song about me. Because when you find me, when you recognize me, then by knowing me as I am, you become the master of the world. And the master of such a world where there are no limits. So Baba says, I give you unlimited inheritance. And Baba says that this is a world, the world where we are living right now is a world of limits. So, in this world we speak this language. You cannot fly your aeroplane in my sky, or now there's so much discussion about how countries are not allowing ships to pass through their waters. Yes, so we are living in this kind of a world. And Baba says that in Satyug we don't have these boundaries. The whole world is ours. The waters, the sky, the land, everything belongs to everyone. There is no limit. And I was just wondering, you see, that even today, there is no limit for the birds. Yes, the birds can fly anywhere. So the birds can cross, oceans and seas and skies, and there is no limit for the birds, the wind, or the water, but there is limit for human beings. And Baba says that, you see, because as we become impure, so even nature, so you see, earlier the equation is Baba is here, we are here, and nature is here. Yes, so nature serves us. And now the equation is Baba is here, nature is here, and we are here. Because we have depleted too much. And that's why these days people feel that nature gives peace, nature gives happiness. Yes, so people go, and these days you see there are people who keep pets, and they go for recreational retreats, and it is animals and flora and fauna and nature that is giving you peace. But this was not the original design. The design was nature used to be happy being around us. So nature used to love serving us. But now it has become the opposite. And in this world, there is no limit for nature. There's no limit for the water, the sea, the wind, or the birds. But for us, there is a limit. And Baba says, I take you to that. So when you find me, so we have been looking for Baba for 2 yugas, Copper Age, Iron Age. We keep looking for Baba. But Baba says, only when you find me, I make you the master of such an unlimited world. And what is so important, or what is so prominent about finding Baba? So Baba tells us that, so Baba also tells us another secret, that you cannot find me. You keep looking for me, but I come according to the drama plan. So Baba says that I'm destined to come and meet you every 5,000 years. And Baba also talks about, Baba says there are so many things you believe in when you don't understand the truth, because I am the truth. I'm called God is truth. And until and unless I come and tell you the truth, you believe in so many things which Ravan has made you believe in. And one of them is that, God can do anything, and God can move mountains, and God can bring the dead alive, or God can cure illnesses, or, God can give you some form of ashirvad or kripa. And these are the things you believed in. But Baba tells us that no, just like you are bound by the drama. Yes, so we have understood this thing in the course, and also in through Murlis, that there is free will, but the free will is not very free. Yes, so at every point of time we are making choices. Every soul is making choices, but we are bound by drama. Yes, so have you understood that much? That you see that every soul makes choices, but you are limited by your sanskars, your understanding, your awareness, your resources, and you can only choose as much as these limitations allow you to choose. Yes, for example, you have a choice every day about, what to eat, let's say. But will you choose to eat healthy or unhealthy? Depends on your sanskars. Yes, depends on your buddhi. If you have very limited buddhi, if you have sanskars which are not, which are not knowledgeful, then you have a choice, but you will not make the right choice. So similarly, Baba says that just like you're bound by the drama, so do you understand that Baba gives us the knowledge of the drama, that in different phases of the drama, there are certain choices that are open to us. And in other phases, those choices are not available. For example, from the copper age to the iron age, even if you choose to do good karma, you can't. Because we are not soul conscious, we are body conscious. So in body consciousness, we want to do the right thing, but we can't because we are limited by our consciousness. Yes, so this is what Baba tells us, that we are also bound by the drama. Now, in the drama, in this confluence age, there is this choice. Again, there is choice also. It's not like everything is destiny. There is destiny and there is choice. So according to the drama plan, the choice of making effort, the choice of becoming pure opens up in Sangam Yuga. And whether we make that choice or not, whether you make that effort or not, is called Purusharth. But you cannot make this effort in Copper Age and Iron Age if you want to. You can only make this effort to, read the Murli, listen to the Murli, or understand the Murli, or have yoga with Baba in Sangam Yuga. So there is a limitation of the drama, and there is also a choice. And similarly, Baba says that I come and play my part. I am the purifier, but I am also bound by the drama. I cannot come and purify you whenever I want. I come and purify you at the time I am destined to come. And I come only every 5,000 years in Sangam Yuga. And Baba says, I'm bound by the drama, and I come only every 5,000 years, but in every 5,000 years, I have to come. Yes, so Baba tells us that I reveal myself to you. I tell you about myself. I tell you about the truth about myself. And then Baba says that many people think that God does many things like bringing the dead alive or curing the illness, or, that's why people are calling out to God. Yes, all day, all night. What are they doing? Just come and solve my troubles. Just come and, remove my pain. This is what people are saying. Every time there's a pain in the body, hey Bhagwan, you are saying, because you think that God is going to relieve you of that pain. But Baba says, no, I don't come for that. I come and I teach you. So, from today's Murli, I had these three thoughts. First thing is, Baba comes and teaches us. Second is, Baba comes and tells us the truth about himself so that we can have accurate yoga. So, you see, when you have yoga with Baba as he is, that's called accurate yoga. And when you have yoga with Baba, with the assumption that he is this or that, or he does this or does that, then that is inaccurate yoga. So, you see, I may believe in anything. So, if I have a belief that God is a bodily being and I have yoga with a bodily being, then that is not accurate yoga. So Baba comes and first reveals himself to us so that we can have accurate yoga with Baba. Yoga with Baba as he is. And then when we have accurate yoga, that yoga burns our sins. Yes. And second thing, so first is Baba teaches us. Baba gives us the awareness or the knowledge about the beginning, middle, and end of the world. Baba gives us the knowledge about who he is. Second is Baba teaches us accurate yoga. And third is when Baba comes, Baba teaches us how to create punya karma by not donating to sinful souls, but by, not donating in the name of God or not donating to sinful souls, but directly, participating in Baba's task. So these are the three things that happen when Baba comes and Baba meets us. And Baba says, when I come, first thing I tell you is about myself. And what does Baba reveal about himself that we didn't know? So many things. First thing is, Baba says, I don't have a body of my own. I'm just a star of light. And you see, this is a very important point because the law says that you become like the one you have yoga with. So if I am having yoga with a bodily being, if I am remembering a bodily being, if I think that God is Sri Krishna or Sri Ram and I think about God as a bodily being and I remember a bodily being, then I'm not going to become soul conscious. So first point of difference that Baba makes us know is you have to have yoga with me and you are a point of light. So you have to forget your body, your bodily relations and bodily religion. And then remember me who is the point of light. So Baba says, how do you remember me? First, switch into your form of point of light and then remember me who is a point of light. So this is yoga, and What we did in bhakti were prayer. That was when you think you are a body and you are sitting in front of an idol who you think who is God, and then you start, you start just talking or communicating with the idol. So that is prayer, but this is yoga. And yoga is going to burn your sins. Yes, and then Baba says, I tell you about what I do. Yes, so I tell you about what I do. I don't, so Baba says, I don't solve your problem directly. So earlier we used to think that I and the problem, we have to be like this and we have to keep calling to Baba and then he will solve the problem. But Baba says, no, this is not the method. You have to, the problem is here, you are here, you detach from the problem, you come to me, you take strength from me, you purify yourself, you go and solve your problem. Because you have to be, I am almighty, but I will not solve your problem directly. You have to go to the Almighty, take power, become like Baba, and solve your own problem. Because Baba says, the problem is your creation. So I cannot solve it. The one who created it has to solve it. So this is a very major point of difference between what we thought Baba does and what Baba actually does. So Baba tells us that I come and I purify you, and I do not solve your troubles, I do not remove your illness, I give you the power to pass your illness. Yes, because that's a karmic settlement. So you take power from me and you pass the illness. Now what happens is Baba uses an expression today that I untangle the thread. Okay, so I untangle the thread which is tangled very badly. Yes, so Baba says that how do I untangle the thread? So you see, you have confused everything. You have confused your role, my role, you have confused karma, destiny, God, everything. And I come and slowly, gradually, I teach you who am I, who are you, what do you have to do, what do I have to do, how do you have to connect with me to enable yourself to do what you have to do. So I come and entangle all these threads. There are so many threads that are tangled so badly. And you see what happens is, have you seen the tangled threads? So when they are tangled badly, you don't know which is going where and how it is, confusing each other. Similarly, Baba says that you have heard so many things for 63 births that now your mind is a big cobweb and you don't know which is what is right, what is wrong, which is true, which is false. And I come and slowly give you the understanding about myself, about yourself, about what you have to do, about what is my role, about what is destiny, what is karma, everything I tell you. So Baba tells us that I come and purify you. And when you are pure, then your body, your relationships, your work, everything gets affected by that purity. And Baba also tells us that I don't come, so you tell me, you call out to me and say that I am the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness. Yes, but Baba says, when you say sorrow, you have to understand that sorrow doesn't mean physical pain. Because physical pain is a symptom. Yes, physical pain is a symptom. What is the root? The root is vices. Yes, and Baba says if removing physical pain was removing sorrow, then a doctor would be also called the remover of sorrow. But then the doctor, and we have done that also. We have said that, doctor is equal to God. But Baba says the doctor is a doctor. He's doing a very good duty, but he's not God. And who is God? God is the one who removes your vices. When you remember Baba, you become free from vices, you become pure. And when you become pure, then for 21 births, you will live in a world where there'll be no disease. So Baba says, I take you to the land of peace and happiness. I don't just cure your physical pain. I give you the unlimited happiness of having a disease-free body for 21 births. So Baba says, I come and teach you. I tell you about myself. And then, so there's a question. Let me take that first. How to detach from the body when it's physical illness. So the thing is, you have to practice in favorable times so that you can apply in unfavorable times. Now the interesting thing is, according to bhakti, we have been told that only remember God when you are in sorrow. But no, you have to remember God when you are okay. So, this whole concept of you should go for meditation or you should go to God when you are in sorrow, that is a misconception. So, Baba tells us that when you are at your best, so of course, we don't come to Baba when we are at our best. We come to Baba when we are at our worst. But still, when we come to Baba, we are in a good state. And when we come to Baba, we have to practice whatever Baba says. And when you practice that in favorable times, so when the body is not ill, then when you practice to detach from the body, then when the body is ill also, you apply that. And you will be able to consider yourself to be a soul and forget the body. Because practice always has to be done in favorable circumstances. Yes, so Baba teaches all these things about himself. Baba says, I'm not a bodily being, I'm a being of light. To remember me, to have yoga with me, you have to switch into your form of light and then remember me. I'm not the remover of anything physical. I'm the purifier. When you become purified, your sorrow is removed. So you have to come to me to become pure. And then Baba tells us about his gunas also, his virtues. So Baba tells us, I am the ocean of peace. I am the ocean of knowledge. And Baba says, you see, I have been called the sermonizer of the Gita, but I'm not a physical being like Sri Krishna who comes and sits on a horse chariot and sermonizes the Gita. I am the point of light who comes from the soul world, sits in the body of Brahma Baba, because I cannot take a body of my own according to the drama plan, and then I speak the Gita to you. And what is Gita? Gita is called Srimad Bhagwanuvach, which means the elevated versions that God spoke. Now, these elevated versions are supposed to make us elevated. So Baba says, those versions which you heard in the Gita, they are not spoken by me. Yes, because in that Gita you are hearing, go and kill your enemy. Yes, so you see, it's so interesting that Srimad Bhagwanuvach, the directions that Baba comes and gives are so different from what we thought Baba gave directions about in Bhakti. And in Bhakti, we thought that, God tells us that you have to lift arms and you have to kill your enemy. And this is what God is shown as speaking to Arjuna, that you have to lift your arms and you have to not forget that you're Kshatriya and go and kill your enemy. But Baba says, I don't give you these directions. Yes, so Baba says, I give you the uplifting directions when I come in the confluence age. And I remember one time I was explaining to a brother why anger and violence are never allowed. Yes. And I told him that you should never resort to anger and violence. And he said, but how can you say that? Because even God had to say that when there is no other solution, you have to resort to anger and violence. Yes, and that is your duty as a Kshatriya, and you are not doing any sin you by killing, but you are actually following your dharma by killing. But Baba says, no, killing, violence, anger is never your dharma. Your swadharma is peace. Yes, and have you heard of that saying that everything can be cured with love? And somebody said, but love didn't work for me. So then the answer was increase the dose. Yes, so Baba says, so Baba says, you see, you can transform yourself, you can transform the whole world through yoga power. You can transform the whole world through the power of peace, love, purity. But the question is, have you accumulated enough to donate? If you have accumulated enough yoga power, then you will be able to use that yoga power and do everything. Otherwise, you will always say that, somewhere you have to use violence, somewhere, you have to resort to unfair methods. But Baba says, no, that is not my teaching. So Baba clarifies that I do not teach you any physical violence. I have never taught you that. But you see, these days, it is we have been hearing these things for so many births that now, even now, when children come to Baba and they become, so-called Nishay Buddhi, that they say, yes, I understand what Baba says and I understand that Baba is the truth. Still, Maya will take over. Yes, I remember there was this one Mata, and she said, Didi, I have understood that, when I kill an animal for my food, or I become the reason why somebody kills them for my food, then the karma that I am creating is going to, harm me so much that even if you say that some health is going to come to me, that health will be very less compared to the karma that I created in killing that animal. But she said that, Didi, when I had severe illness, and at that time the doctor said you should have non-vegetarian. At that time, my mind got confused and my clarity was lost. And she said, I fought with it and I won over it. So you see that there is so much of this Ravan Mat that's there in the world, that even children who understand what Baba is saying, and even Baba's children will say, sometimes you have to use anger and you have to use some form of verbal abuse or something, because otherwise this soul is not listening. And how do you keep them in control? But Baba says that is just that is an illusion. You cannot control anybody forever with violence and anger. But you can only control through influence. And when you have yoga power, you will be able to influence the soul with the power of your purity, love, peace, just like Baba. Just Baba use any control methods? No. But Baba has complete, sway over us. How? Through his power of purity, peace, and love. So Baba says that I untangle the thread that was tangled so badly. Slowly, gradually, I teach you who am I, how to have yoga with me, what are my teachings, and what did I say, what did I not say, what is it that you wrote I said, but I never said it. And then Baba says that I also tell you about your beginning, middle, and end. And what is our beginning, middle, and end? So you see, the thread has been tangled so badly that we don't even remember. So we never have this thought even that I was a deity that I am worshipping. Yes, and you see, we have come so far away from the truth that we think that deities are different and we are bhagats and we can never become deities. But Baba comes and reminds us that this is your original form that you're worshipping. And now it's not the time to worship, it's the time to become that. And then, third thing that Baba teaches is, Baba says, in bhakti, you donated in the name of God. Yes, and Baba says, whatever name you donated in, it was I who gave you the return, even if it was, a very small return, because it was not done rightly. So you received a very small return, but because you had bhavana, because you had that loveful feeling for me, so I gave you the return of that. But Baba says that now I have come here, and in bhakti you donated to sinful souls, because whoever you are donating to, they are not leading a life of purity. Yes, you look at anyone in the world, they are not embracing a life of purity. They are not giving up on lust and anger and ego and attachment and greed. And Baba says here, you are whatever whatever you contribute, that you are doing through pure souls into my task, and you are doing it on my directions, and you are going to receive 21, the return of 21 births for that. So Baba says, I teach you three things. I teach you the truth, I teach you true yoga, and I teach you true donation. And when you do these three things, then you will go to this world where there is no limit, there is unlimited happiness, and everything is unlimited. Everything is yours in that world. Okay, Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Today one line, like may I speak in Hindi that
Yes.
line? कई धर्मात्मा भी होते हैं पर बच्चा बिल्कुल चट खाते
हाँ.
and this line also bewares of our Purusharth. And one line Baba always said that have humility to become serviceable. And when one has the intention to really serve the souls, they meanwhile they also know their weaknesses and corrections also, and both goes along together. And because Baba has told us, while studying, make others also steady, do together study and service.
Correct.
And the main factor which I lack is Baba said Namrachit. My problem from childhood is that I never felt humility for anyone. I never had any thought about this. And I always thought, what is my connection with them? Why do I feel that? And now I am getting this point of Baba, how how sad they are, how sorrowful they are. And now I can see that and feel very much to serve them. But this factor, Namrachit, this I have to bring in me. And as my love for Baba increases, this will increase for them also, I think.
Yes. So I think from what you said, you are talking about Rahim Dil, not Namrachit. Okay. Fine.
Humility.
No, humility is,
Uh,
what is humility? Let's understand that. Humility is when you serve somebody and give them a higher seat. For example, if I am serving a person, so I am the knowledgeful one, I'm giving knowledge to that one, but I keep telling them, you are the more experienced one, you know things better than me. And I keep giving them the knowledge also. That is humility. Okay. So humility means you serve, but you do pehle aap. So you keep them, you give them an
okay.
upper hand, but you also serve them. And what you are talking about is mercifulness or rahim dili, that I don't have to think
Okay.
that what is my
Diyadipati.
connection with anybody. I am an instrument for everyone, and I have to care about their spiritual growth and well-being, and I have to think that this is my personal duty. Yes, so that is Rahim Dili. That is not Namrachit. Namrachit is this. Okay, so these are two different things. So good that you asked, so we could have it clarified. Okay, Om Shanti. Thank you.
Namrachit in the sense that, oh sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Namrachit in the sense that when they reject our gyan
Haan.
or our they take service which they want, but
Haan.
when we want to give them that, they don't hold it.
Haan.
Then some harshness comes from inside,
Yes.
not outside, like
Yes.
inside.
Yes. So that shouldn't be there.
Then we are not able to maintain that mercy.
Yes. Yes. So that is Namrachit. And also, sometimes, when you are doing service or something, then just, appreciating their contribution. Even if it's a little, your contribution may be too much. There could be very little. But you appreciate that contribution with your heart. That's humility. The ability to notice other people's qualities, the ability to notice other people's contribution. This comes from humility. And the opposite of humility is ego. So if you're full of yourself, you will never acknowledge or notice what is the greatness of the other soul. Okay, maybe you have 100 virtues, they have only one, but they have one. And you have to notice that. And if you can't, that's an inability on your part. That is what Baba says. Okay.
Baba's every time told us that see only the soul, not their sanskars.
Yes, yes. Okay. Om
Thank you.
Shanti.
Om
Thank
Shanti.
you. Thank you. Hanji, Tripti Ben. Hanji, sister. Om Shanti.
Namrachit and Namrata, one and the same thing.
Namrachit,
same.
Namrachit is the quality of being humble-hearted. And then Namrata is an expression of that humble-heartedness. Okay, so those who are Namrachit will behave with Namrata. So that is the difference. Okay, Om Shanti.
Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti.
Today Baba says you have 63 birds of sins on your head, and he gives such a beautiful and easy technique to just burn that sins. He says you just need to get up between 2 to 5 a.m. It is such a beautiful period. Like there's no disturbance, and even the environment is conducive to just help in your efforts. So if he can think about the easy way for me, and he's even directing me, why can't I think for the same? And the alternative to that is, if I'm not burning away my sins on his directions, I have to be ready to take the punishments.
Yes.
So the choice is mine, whether I'm ready for what.
Correct. Correct. Thank you. Shanti.